Hi guys, Chef Wu Can here today. Remember, Chef Wu Can, you can too. Today, beautiful day outside, but it's freaking hot. It's in the 90s down here in Maryland. So, I know that, we're looking for a quick, easy meal, and we're trying to save a little bit of money if we can. So, I'm going to introduce you to a Malaysian dish. It's called Shrimp Mee. And basically, it's using shrimp shells that are simmered to release the flavor in the shells, and we'll be adding a little bit of salty and sweet and a little wine to it to get that perfect broth, and then we'll add some ready-made yellow noodles and some shrimp and some scallions to top it off. I find that soup is a comfort food. Yes, we can purchase the soup at our local supermarket, but whenever you're dealing with large companies, you don't know exactly what they put into the soup to give it longer shelf life. Well, all we had to do was any shrimp that we used, we saved the shells and we froze it. And that's it. And then now we're just going to boil it and simmer it so it releases the flavor. Add a couple more sauces to it to get that perfect broth. And then basically add some noodles, some shrimp, and some scallion to make it look nice and pretty and give it a little crunch, as well as some shallots. So this is a very famous dish in Malaysia, and we're going to add some coconut milk too. And coconut milk adds a different depth of flavor. It's cooling. If you have a little spicy, it will cool it down a little bit, and it's creamy and it has a very unique coconut flavor. So I had made a Thai coconut shrimp soup curry before, and people love it. So today it's going to be very simple, and basically we took all the shells over a couple weeks, put in a Ziploc bag, froze it. Now it's even better if you bought shrimp with the head on, because in the head there's so much flavor in the head. In terms of buying the shrimp, I say to you that buy in bulk right now. Okay, you buy a 4-pound box, which is typically the size of size 16-20 shrimp. Again, 16-20 means 16 to 20 shrimp per pound. So if you take $32 for a box of a 4-pound shrimp, you divide it by 4, it comes down to $8 a pound. Right? In the local supermarket, they'll double the price. That's their profit. So you're saving $8. So I highly recommend it. Obviously, you buy the block of shrimp, you're gonna have to defrost it, and if you have a vacuum seal machine, that's the best. You allocate as many shrimp as you want in any one packet, you vacuum seal and you freeze it, label it, date it, and there's your shrimp for another beautiful day. All right, so consider that. So the 16-20 is 16 to 20 shrimp for 1 pound. If you see a sign that says 32 shrimp, size 32, that means 32 little shrimp will equal 1 pound. And those are the little shrimp. So the higher the number, the smaller the shrimp. The lower the number, the bigger the shrimp. But the bigger the shrimp might be a little tougher too, so you might have to take a little bit more time to cook it. So my preference is size 16-20, all right? So here we're gonna start with the broth. And please watch me. Now, in terms of, this is 3 cups of water. Shrimp shells, it's gonna be on high. We're gonna add the frozen shrimp shells. So you're going to get a nice tangy, you're going to get a nice flavor of shrimp. Now, where would you get the shrimp flavor otherwise? Well, in the box of noodles, soups, the ramen noodles, they'll have shrimp flavored, so you get a packet of the shrimp flavored powder. Obviously it's a powder, so you don't know exactly what that powder is made up of. So here you're using actual shrimp shells, nothing artificial. All right, so we'll keep it on high. we'll get this going. We'll also add a little bit of lemongrass. Now these are the parts that we didn't use in our Thai dish soup, the shrimp red curry basil lemongrass soup. But we'll add a little bit of flavor to the shrimp broth with some lemongrass in it. So what's this going to do? So you're going to simmer it, boil it, then lower it, and then we'll taste it, then we'll season it based on the fish sauce, sugar, Shaoxing wine, and maybe a little sriracha sauce. These are basically, I would say, 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons. And a little white pepper. So as we're waiting, we're going to prepare the scallion. Scallion is always a very popular condiment for any dish. So I already washed it, so we'll cut them in a little lengths. We're not going to dice it. Okay. And we'll set that aside. And you can get scallion anywhere. It's from the onion family. Now here's the garlic. So as you know, and I'll probably have to shift it a little bit here. Garlic, for me, there's no garlic presser. This is my garlic presser. It's a 1-piece high carbon steel cleaver, 1 piece. So you don't have to worry about taking a chop and the handle falling off. It's all 1 piece. And how we do it is just lay the garlic clove on the chopping board, and with the flat surface of the cleaver, just bang it. And then use the front to push it to the side. And there you got chopped garlic. And we'll set that aside. Now, as you know, the preparation process takes the longest. But I try to make it easy for you. All right? This is the new way of cooking. Everything is all pre-made, pre-manufactured. And so, although it may seem like it's cheating, hey, whatever we can do to make cooking easy. Cooking already has a negative stereotype already. This is a Twin Marquee yellow noodles. Now you can see it says cooked noodles. So basically it's been cooked. So all you do is just add what you want, let it get hot in the broth, a second or two, take it out, and it's done. Okay? Whatever we got to do to keep things simple. Life's too complicated right now. Right? So as we are now, in terms of how much shrimp shells, well, I figure 32, maybe 48 shrimps that are saved frozen in terms of the shell. That will make 3 cups of broth pretty intensive. Obviously, we'll add some garlic for flavor. We'll add some Shaoxing wine, and we'll add some white pepper, and we'll just keep it all together. Let it cook all, combine, let it fuse all those flavors. Delicious. All right. It doesn't look much, but you know what? When you make your shrimp broth, you'll know that you made it from scratch. And you should be damn proud of yourself. Obviously, the easy way is to pack it, but it may not necessarily be all that healthy. So it's really up to you, you know. Okay. Then we'll add the coconut milk a little later, and we'll let this cook, boil up a little bit. Obviously with a butane stove it takes a little bit, so I'll be right back. So the shrimp broth has been cooking for a while. As you can see, the shells are turning bright orange. Now you can smell the aroma from the shrimp. Okay. Now the longer you simmer, the longer you get more flavor. So we can lower it a little bit and we'll taste a little bit. We have our little Chinese spoon. It's delicious. We'll add some sugar to it now. Now, this is real shrimp, obviously, right? So you don't have to flood the broth with heavy, salty items and sweet sugar, because it's eventually going to overpower the shrimp. And that's not the intentions of sugar and soy sauce or fish sauce. It's basically to enhance the flavor. Okay? And this is a little bit of the Shaoxing wine. So remember, we use around 2 tablespoons of Shaoxing wine, 2 tablespoons of fish sauce, 2 tablespoons of sugar. We might have to add a little bit more. Okay? Really good. Maybe a little bit more fish sauce. Now, in terms of the ingredients, I don't want to lead you around, but this is the fish sauce that I use. I pay a little bit more, but the fish sauce is, although it's pungent, it's made very well. It's very fine. It's like a fine wine. Right? So obviously, if you go to an Asian market, you're going to see tons of fish sauce, right? Don't go solely by the price. If you do, you get what you pay for. But I pay a little bit more. This is like $4 a bottle. And unless you try a small bottle and you get used to it and you love it, then you can obviously, buy this. But the other brands, but this is the one I use. I can't really recommend the other ones because I really haven't used it much. But because I use fish sauce a lot, I chose this, and it's really good. So we added a little bit more. So that was another 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. So really it was 4 tablespoons of fish sauce to around 3 cups of water. Very good. All right, so now we'll let that low simmer and we'll devein shrimp. So obviously we took the shell off the shrimp, and you can see the vein is on the underside. So we have a little knife. We're going to just cut it a little bit, make a little slice on the underside, and just try to peel it open and pull out that vein, that intestine. Okay, now we'll set that aside. Now we'll get the noodles. So we're not going to use that much in noodles. We'll just take around maybe a quarter. And remember, this is pre-cooked. Not all noodles are pre-cooked. Now, if you like Asian noodles, you saved around $8 and you made it yourself. I did taste a tinge of the lemongrass. Very good. So you're basically just helping the flavor along by adding fish sauce, sugar, Shaoxing wine, white pepper, okay, and a little bit of lemongrass. Now we'll add some of the sriracha. If you like a little hot and spicy. Now you may say I'm kind of crazy to add sriracha because it's so freaking hot outside, but you know what? They say that the body helps regulate high temperatures. So if you ate this, your body will automatically start to sweat. And as you know, when you sweat, that's our way that our body is cooling ourselves. So it's really healthy for you. And obviously, we're always trying to take care of our bodies and listen to our bodies. Okay, let's taste it. A little sriracha. Delicious. Just enough. So we're going to drain it. Let's take out all the shells. Let it rinse out a little bit. You want all that delicious flavor in the broth. Take it out. So these are the tricks of the trade. In the authentic restaurants, this is what they do. They have huge vats, and they save all the shells. Okay. So now we'll add the coconut milk. Shrimp Mee comes with coconut milk. And in a lot of Southeast Asian restaurants, coconut milk is used a lot. Now we'll put the noodles in. So here's the cleaver. Noodles on the cleaver, throw it in. We'll just saute it a little bit. The noodles are already cooked. Let it heat up a little bit. Here's our bowl, a serving bowl. Nice little rooster. This is where you put the chopsticks in. Get this heated. Take a little sip. Delicious. I like it a little bit more saltier, a little bit more fish sauce. So that's 4 tablespoons, 5 tablespoons of fish sauce. We'll let it get really hot. There's nothing like a hot soup. Once it starts to boil, we'll add the shrimp, and for about 45 seconds, we'll let it cook. Just 45 seconds. Anything past that, you're going to get tough shrimp. You don't want tough shrimp. You may have been used to having tough shrimp, but now you're going to learn the right way. 45 seconds after you put it in the soup, or even hot water. 45 seconds, that's all you do for size 16, 20 shrimp. Now remember, the smaller the number, the bigger the shrimp. So maybe a minute if it's a bigger shrimp, all right? Because there's more girth to it, more thickness. All right, it's boiling. I'm going to give it 45 seconds. Two. Okay. We'll shut off the heat. Five seconds is done. Now we'll scoop all the goodies out. Shrimp and noodles. You know that in Asia, believe it or not, the most favorite dish are soup noodle dishes, or noodle dishes period. They love their noodles. Okay, so we have the shrimp. It's perfect, right? Now we'll add the scallion. And we'll add some crushed shallots too. So you're going to get a nice mellow flavor. You got the noodles that are soft, shrimp that's very tender, a little crunchy shallots, and some scallion. Okay. Take the broth. And here you have homemade shrimp mee. Easy. Now, obviously, the best part of this video is always the taste. So we'll have some noodles. I like to put the noodles on the spoon. Just a little bit. A little shrimp. A little soup. A little scallion. Here we go. Chef Wu Can's version of shrimp mee from Malaysia. So you can tell your family when they're raiding the kitchen, the freezer section, and they said, "What are these shells here for? How gross?" Well, you just tell them that you just made a fresh shrimp broth, and they'll say, "That was wonderful. Save more shrimp shells." And it's economical. So where you would otherwise have thrown it out because you didn't know what to use, now you can use it to make shrimp broth. So, you know, if you like this video and you want to see more videos coming up, just give me a subscribe. Press that button, subscribe, and that will notify you of another video that's coming up, and you'll be the first to check it out. And give me a thumbs up if you like what you heard. And I do read your comments, and I do appreciate it, and I want to thank you. I started with maybe 2 subscribers couple months ago, 6 months ago. I'm up to 96, I think. So I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I guess I'm doing something right. And I'm not just going to work on just traditional dishes. I'm not going to just work on Chinese American dishes. I'm going to give you a combination of everything. I've tried to introduce you to new foods that are readily accessible at some places, or if you're near some Asian markets and you see these vegetables, maybe you saw a recipe that I used those ingredients and you can actually make it yourself, and it's much cheaper too. So I appreciate it. And if you are, as obviously maybe too hot to grill, maybe later on tonight, I do have some crunchy garlic chili oil relish that you can use on anything if you like hot and spicy, and a raw organic spicy honey with a piece of honeycomb inside of it. And they're in small containers because I don't want to inundate you with an 8-ounce container and make you spend a little bit more money. Obviously postage and everything else is going up, so I don't want you to go crazy. But if you do like it, and I do get a good following, obviously this holiday as gift giving, it would be really nice. It would come in its own little box, pretty. Will obviously expand, and based on your demand, and I always hear what you have to say, maybe we'll increase it to a larger size if you like it that much. All right, so Chef who can, you can too. If I can do it, anybody can. So just hang in there, and I'll explain things as slowly as I can, as thorough, methodically, and easy to buy ingredients. And putting it together, I'll always find ways to make it easier for you, okay? The days of the old traditional cooking is too labor intensive now. Now is trying to make things easy for us to eat healthy, all right? All right, thanks. Thank you again, and Chef who can, you can too. Thank you. Bye-bye.